Get your voice back, Susan. Let,
Some hot tea.
you need to let the rest of your team talk for you.
Yes. Let them do
Long
it.
projects and then a lot of turnover trying to track it that, but just so you know.
Okay, all right, well, pass that on and,
I told Jason already.
yeah.
Mr. Chair, normally you run the meeting right on target here.
At this time, we'll call to order the committee of the whole meeting. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Fast,
She's in the building.
okay. Commissioner Allen,
Here.
Commissioner Klicka,
Here?
Commissioner Hanslick,
Here?
Commissioner Ashcraft,
Here.
Commissioner Brown is absent, and Chairman Eilert.
Here. We do have a quorum present. Ms. McCarrick.
Yes, good afternoon, Chairman and Commissioners. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. We're pleased to present our 5-year capital improvement program. This is for your information only. We're not requesting any action this afternoon. And I've brought with me today Aaron Witt, who's on my far right or your far left. Aaron Witt is our chief engineer, and Patrick Bean, who's just on my immediate right here. He's our asset manager, and I'm going to turn it over to Patrick to start the presentation.
Should note at the outset, this is for information today. No board action is required. Okay, very good.
Thank you, Susan. And thank you, Commissioners. So today's agenda consists of 3 primary objectives. They include a brief overview of our asset management program, a preliminary look at our proposed 5-year capital improvement program budget, and an outline of our long-term capital planning approach. So the JCW Asset Management Program has 4 primary goals. We have old systems that need to be maintained and replaced. We have been working to collect data on our system to drive operation and maintenance decisions. That information also leads to more realistic budgets. And in order to sustain these programs, we want to capture knowledge on our systems from long-term staff on our assets that can be used for training of new staff as we have turnover through the years. Within the wastewater systems, we have 2 primary categories. The first being the collection system. That includes facilities that are normally underground and out of sight, like our gravity sewer pipes, our manholes, our low-pressure sewer systems, and our force mains. We are continuing to develop our strategies that allow us to cost-effectively manage those assets over their entire life cycle. The other component of our system includes the treatment and pumping facilities. We started a focused asset management program development on our collection system, but have prioritized treatment and pumping systems the last couple of years. The implementation plan on our left is our 5-year approach to developing that program, which is tied with our strategic business plan goals. It's not something to see, just kind of showing you the different, how big of an effort that is. A couple of focus areas include small project management process development, pipe locating and documentation at our facilities, and continued development of our condition assessment program for facility assets. Here's an example of how we collect and use data on our assets. When each collection system asset is inspected, it is assigned a condition that is linked with the consequence of failure and the deterioration history. That information is fed into an algorithm that defines the next action, the cost of the repair or replacement, and priority based on risk. Some of the actions could include re-inspections in the future for those low-risk assets, but some may lead to point repairs, rehab liners, or full replacement. That information then is used to drive our capital budgets. The data can then be used to define projects for us. We use our GIS information that's tied with the county's AIM system to more easily view the information that was collected. The blue lines have been identified as needing a rehab liner based on their risk. The green line in between is not high enough risk yet to need a lining on its own, but it will need one in the near future. So it is cost-effective to complete the rehab lining while the repairs are being done on either side of it, primarily due to those mobilization costs of coming and setting up and doing that type of work. The data is also used to coordinate projects with the cities and other county departments. Their capital improvement information is stored on AIM, so potential combined projects can be more easily identified. The goal is to minimize tearing up the streets and the yards multiple years in a row and get the work done in one shot if possible. This leads to fewer impacts to the residents and potential cost savings with a combined project. And with that, I'll turn over to Aaron to start drilling in on the capital budget.
Thanks, Patrick. Good afternoon, Chairman and Commissioners. Before we start talking through the CIP, I wanted to give kudos to Patrick and the rest of the team that works on the asset management program. Over the last few years, we received a NACO award for our gravity sewer asset management plan, and both KDHE and EPA have requested that we come and speak at various conferences about our program to other utilities. So thank you, Patrick. Jumping into the CIP, this is a summary of our proposed capital plan for 2020 through 2024. It represents projects that are currently authorized and underway, as well as future projects to meet our business plan goals. On the table on the left-hand side, you'll see our major CIP categories. The 5-year total for the CIP is $473 million, and this is consistent with the projections that we had talked to you about last year. In 2020, Tomahawk is about $140 million of the $180 million we're showing in 2020. And I also want to point out the renewal and replacement category. This is the largest investment we have in our 5-year capital plan. It does include the design and the beginning of construction of our Nelson project in 2024. And I'll talk to more on that Nelson project in a minute. But I wanted to highlight that we're continuing to reinvest in our entire system with that category. The following slides will highlight certain areas of our 5-year CIP. This figure represents our best projections of when sewers will be available over the next 20 years, and it also highlights a few of our 5-year CIP projects. We update this map every 2 years, and we're planning to update this map again later this year. We have approximately 16,000 acres of vacant land with sewers within the Consolidated Main Sewer District. The CMSD is shown in the yellow on the map, and the vacant areas are the hatched areas shown on the yellow. We have an additional 15,000 acres within a quarter mile of sewers, and those are the orange areas shown on your map. Highlighting a few of the projects, Mill Creek 1, Contract 2, is just north of K10 and east of Ridgeview. It's about 250 acres. We're finalizing the design and we'll be bidding that project soon, and then we'll return to you to request construction phase funding later this year. Blue River 28, Contract District 1. This is south of Heritage Park near 175th and Flum. We are finalizing a study in this area along with the business case for that project, and are anticipating developing a petition that will be coming out soon.
Which side of the watershed is that?
Blue River watershed. And we're also conducting various studies where we've had high interest. Some of those are Cedar Creek area, near our Keel Creek pump station, and the Bull Creek pump station.
I thought the Bull Creek was in the Gardner-Edgerton area. It's not?
Bull Creek pumps to the New Century Air Center, but this is an area that we've been serving for quite a while, and it serves to this Bull Creek pump station. There's some area just west of that station that they're interested in seeing if we can serve that. Olathe is also looking at just north of 175th in that area, so we're going to study that area to see what's the best way to serve that.
So this is far north of I-35.
It's over near 175th and Lone Elm area, 182nd and Lone Elm area.
Okay.
And then it pumps up
I'm
over.
sorry to keep pressing this, but Gardner-Edgerton just has a new plant, I-35 in Homestead. So
And this is quite a ways east.
quite a ways east.
Of that
Okay.
area. And we have to pump it a long way to get it to New Century, and that's why we want to study it to see what's the best way to develop that area.
Well, as I recall, also there was discussion about a ridge line that runs through this area. Is this on the south or north side?
It's on the northern edge of.
It's on the northern edge?
Northern edge
Of the area the watershed that can serve towards the south. Growth could be served further.
Well, I thought our issue was that we didn't want to have to pump.
right.
Well,
And we
have to
currently
pump in
have
this
a
ca-
pump station there.
Pardon?
We currently have a pump station that serves that area, but it's at capacity. And it pumps all the way over, if you can point that out, maybe Patrick will where it pumps from, and all the way over to our New Century Air Center facility for treatment. So as part of
So
the study,
This is not necessarily an enlargement of the area that we serve. We already serve this area, is that right?
So the pump stations that Aaron's referencing, we've served those two small developments out there for, gosh, probably 40 years, maybe approaching 50 years now. And there was a one enlargement here maybe 10 or 15 years ago. But one of the stations is at capacity, and so we want to study that because there has been interest in this area. So this area is just south of the ridge line, so it's on the northern point of the Bull Creek watershed. 175th Street's just north of there is about the ridge line, I think.
Okay.
But Olathe is just on the other side. So I think the idea is to optimize who's best to serve it, how's the best way to serve it. But it is pretty far away from the Gardner-Edgerton treatment facility. So that's why we're doing this study for this particular area.
And on that point, we have discussed intermittently the creation or need for another super district so that those north of the ridge line are you basically, but south. So is that part of ongoing discussions with Olathe and Gardner and all those folks? Because pump stations, as you've hammered into me, are expensive, and I don't know if we have that great a need to expand the system and have our core customers pay for that, if you understand what I'm saying.
I do understand what you're saying, and I think, and that was something I think John O'Neill had offered to facilitate those discussions. And I think there's certainly, I know Aaron and his team, they're looking at putting together a group of individuals that talked about these very issues several years ago. We're going to look at getting that group back together, talk about those.
Long-term, big financial
Correct.
for us,
Yep.
as well as them, but, okay.
and that's the start of the study, is to look at what it would take, who could serve that particular area. It'll be looking at a business case as part of that, and we're planning to, later this year, continue to have those discussions.
Can you pull that microphone closer, Aaron?
Because I would argue, even if there are pockets that we're serving, long-term, it might be beneficial to give that to another district, just to get out of the business of some pump stations. I mean, there's some ROI considerations, but I hope we just don't have such ownership of it because we now have it that we've got to continue doing it, because I think you probably have enough work otherwise.
You're correct. And
You are, yeah, you're
And-
correct. Go ahead, Aaron, I'm sorry.
And the Cedar Creek area is also one of those that we've been discussing with the city of Olathe of who should serve areas there. So we're continuing to look at that further. The Tomahawk Plan is our priority project. The project is on schedule and within budget, and that's a testament to the team because we've had a very difficult winter for construction. Patrick, if you want to go to the next slide. We wanted to show you this little drone flyover of where we started about a year ago and where we're at as of last month. As a reminder, construction was approved in April of last year, and we started diverting all of the flows to Kansas City, Missouri in June of 2018. Last year's focus was on demolition, site grading, constructing the overflow channel, as well as underground piping. This year, we'll have a lot of concrete pours as we're getting the structures up out of the ground. And later this summer, we're looking at a peak of probably 300 workers on site. And then as the
I'll answer that. When I met with Mayor Dunn, she thought it would be, neighbors would be quite unhappy, and she said, you've done a great job.
Excellent.
Yeah, so no complaints, and I talked to the Leawood City Council on Monday, asked, and no complaints, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. So as the weather warms up and dries out a little bit, we're looking for an opportunity to get you back out to the site and show you the progress.
Yeah, when you've got something above ground. That would be great.
Okay. The Nelson facility upgrade is our next major project in our plans. The 5-year capital plan includes design for that project and then starting construction in 2024. Currently in that 5-year plan, we have about $75 million in there for the Nelson facility upgrade. With this upgrade, we have the challenge of having to treat flows while we're constructing the facility, unlike at Tomahawk, where we have the interceptor and can send it on to Kansas City, Missouri. So it'll be quite a challenge. Because of that challenge, we're seeing a longer construction window, probably 5 years to construct this facility. And because of that long construction window, and having to treat the flows, we have various repair projects. Some of those are highlighted on the figure you're looking at. We want to make sure the plant continues to be able to safely treat flows as we're getting through that construction. The projects also include our biosolids improvement project, which design for that project was approved by you earlier this year. This will allow us to process solids and apply them as a beneficial reuse instead of having to haul them to the landfill. We currently land apply about 40% of our biosolids, and that's from our Middle Basin facility. With this improvement, we will be at that 100% level, which is consistent with our long-term goals that we had in our strategic business plan.
Let me go back to the Tomahawk Creek. I think it's worth emphasizing the wet weather conditions where in the past we might have had to build underground storage facilities. And there was a new process that was advanced and approved by EPA and KDHE. And I understand it probably saved us, what, $100 or $150 million on this project, is that right?
$200 million, yes. That
Pardon?
was $200 million.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
More than I thought. So can you describe generally what that process is that we can now use?
Sure, it's large filters at the end of the treatment process. So all of our treated water would go through there, and it further enhances treatment for phosphorus, so we can remove phosphorus during normal daily flows. When we have those very large rain events and flows get extremely high, we're able to divert all that wet weather flow to this facility, so we can treat up to 172 million gallons a day through that wet weather facility, instead of having to build large storage tanks to be able to store all that water and then try to send it back.
Well, I think it's good to emphasize that the ratepayers were saved $200 million by this new process, and you need to say thanks to EPA and KDHE for taking a realistic viewpoint of what that new process could do. So, thanks to all.
Thank you.
Follow on though, the phosphorus requirements, was there new legislation or new law that changed the phosphorus filtering? I don't, that may be the right term. I mean, why did that change?
It didn't necessarily change. We've included that with our Blue River facility upgrade that we did back in 2005, and as part of our Middle Basin upgrades that we've completed. So as we're doing upgrades to our facilities as part of the Kansas Department of Health and Environment's nutrient reduction plan, we're incorporating that because it's much more cost-effective to be able to implement that technology.
We didn't do it before because we didn't have to do it before?
It wasn't a regulation,
So there are new regulations, not necessarily new laws?
not necessarily new, but they've been on the books, that they're working toward nutrient.
They've just been enforcing the existing laws?
And with the state
More enforcing, or more forceful? Yeah.
Yes, as part of the permit process, when we're renewing our permits, the state's been implementing that nutrient reduction plan that they have as part of that.
Okay, thank you.
We also have rehabilitation work for 3 pump stations that are shown on the figure. Turkey Creek and Rock Creek are major stations that pump to the Nelson's complex. There will be future work that are needed at these stations, but it's further out in the 10-year window, and it coincides with the upgrade that we're doing to the Nelson plant. So we need to expand that capacity at the plant, and then we can expand these stations. The Dykes Branch Station pumps flows to the Tomahawk facility. This project will also include replacement of the force main that runs along Mission Road. In recent history, we've had some breaks with that force main, so this project will take care of that. And because it's running along Mission Road, we've been coordinating this project with Leawood, Prairie Village, and Overland Park. With the Tomahawk expansion, we plan for the construction of 3 new pump stations to redirect flow. It currently goes to Kansas City, Missouri for treatment. So with this project, we'll redirect that flow back to our newly expanded Tomahawk facility. It will be a challenging project as there's a force main that runs along State Line Road. The pump stations will be constructed. The 10 and 11 is near 89th and State Line. The pump station 13 and 13A are near 103rd and State Line, and then the Hallbrook pump station just east of the Tomahawk facility. The estimated cost of this project is $15.5 million, but it does have a rapid payback due to the savings of not sending that flow to Kansas City, Missouri.
Ed, question, is State Line Road, is that belong to Kansas or belong to Missouri, or is it split
Half.
down the middle?
Half and half.
It's split down the middle? So is our pipe on the Kansas side?
We'll be working through that as part of the study, figuring out where we
Only
can,
question, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
we wanted to highlight a few other projects or programs before we begin discussion on our long-term plan. We're continuing to plan for and reinvest in our system through our asset management program. The Mill Creek Storage Project is included in the 5-year capital window. The original sewer interceptor was designed to serve growth up to half of the watershed. And we're at that point now, so we need to provide capacity to further serve that Mill Creek watershed. We completed a study that found a cost-effective storage solution over building a sewer that would transport all the growth and the flow down to the treatment facility. And that alternative of building storage versus building the sewers will save us about $15 million. And finally, even though we show it as a lower dollar amount than some of the larger projects that we're facing, the street storm program is a very successful program that allows us to work with the cities and coordinate projects so that we can lessen the impact of construction on our residents.
Aaron, the street storm program is coordinated with the stormwater SMAC program stuff, right? SMAC, isn't that what it is, Jim? SMAC?
Yes.
It is. We coordinate.
Sorry, my mic was off.
We coordinate with Public Works as far as the SMAC program and attend those meetings, but we're really working directly with the cities as they may get SMAC funding on a particular project and they're designing their storm system, then they would supply those plans to us. We review those to see if there's conflicts with our sanitary sewers and then work through
Okay, thank you.
that process. I'd like to shift our focus from the 5-year capital plan to our current efforts in developing the long-term plan. As we've been discussing, there are various drivers that we need to take into account in the plan development, and we'll talk through the concept of integrated planning in the next few slides. The Nelson facility and collection system are the primary drivers for the development of this long-term integrated plan. We've been talking with regulators for over 10 years on the challenges with the facility as well as the sewer system that serves this area. With the large investment that'll be required, we want to make sure we coordinate with our needs system-wide. Over the years, we've been engaged in discussion with the legislators and the regulatory community on wastewater issues that affect our community, and those efforts have helped to provide the opportunity we have with integrated planning. Many utilities are faced with large investment with limited resources. And the issue has been how to balance all of these requirements along with the timing of these projects. Integrated planning allows us to prioritize all of the needs, not just regulatory requirements, so that we can execute the projects that give us the greatest benefit for the dollars that we spend. The integrated planning approach does not remove obligations to comply with our Clean Water Act, and it doesn't lower existing regulatory standards, but it recognizes the flexibilities within the Clean Water Act for us to prioritize and schedule our projects. A couple of important pieces defined in the integrated planning process. It emphasizes the input from local stakeholders in setting priorities for our projects. And it also takes into account the issue of affordability as the implementation plan is developed and how it can affect or impact those low-income population. Chairman, this goes to what you were asking about earlier. The integrated plan is a negotiation process both with the state and EPA, and we'll feel like we'll be able to build on the success we had in that Tomahawk permitting negotiation process where we did save the $200 million by using wet weather technology over storage. And for the integrated planning negotiation that we're starting now, we'll be working with the same people at the state and EPA that we work through the Tomahawk permitting process. You up to
My
it,
mic
Susan?
there. And so, I'll wrap it up here. So as Aaron walked us through the integrated planning approach, as you can see, that approach is where we feel that's the best strategy to really help provide us with a long-term plan and long-term regulatory certainty. Integrated planning, while we have here on the slide, it's endorsed by EPA and KDHE, and in fact was codified, signed into law in January of this year. And so it is a process that is recognized. One of the great things about integrated planning is it has, one of the pieces of the integrated planning process is that it includes adaptive management. So you have an opportunity to make changes to the plan. For example, if there's new information that becomes available, for example, on Tomahawk, we had new technology or technology that was advanced from the time we had started studying Tomahawk years ago till now, the filters were advanced, and so we're able to take advantage of that technology. In addition, maybe there'd be other changes in conditions, such as with the affordability of your particular community. Go ahead. And so ultimately, what we're looking for, when you want to work through integrated planning, we need to obtain a permit for the Nelson project. For the Nelson complex, I should say, because we do need to renew that facility. It dates back to 1945, so post-World War II there, and we need to renew that facility. So ultimately, as we're working through this, it'll allow us to prioritize our projects, our community needs, and what we would look for is to end up with an agreement that's held with the state, that we would then work just directly with the state going forward, So with that, we'll continue our integrated planning process. We do have, and I'm trying to wrap up here so you don't have to listen to my squeaks. We do actually have a meeting scheduled with EPA next week to talk about our approach. We met with the state, and it was a very good meeting with the state that we had recently regarding our approach on integrated planning. So we look forward to that meeting with EPA next week. We'll be back in May. In May, we'll present our financial plan. And so that's when we'll be talking about the rates for 2020. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Allen.
I just got a quick question. Is that a major sewer line replacement at I-35 in Antioch right now? Yes. Okay. Looks like a pretty massive project. And I just, as a general comment, is going to congratulate, I think Johnson County Wastewater has a long history of maintaining their system, planning for a replacement, and I know in this most recent thing that we put money set aside for the spike in rates that we need to pay Kansas City, Missouri. And the result of that is our rates are substantially less. I know on the Missouri side, unfortunately, Kansas City, Missouri got hit with mammoth capital needs, frankly, because they didn't incrementally address those needs along and separating their stormwater from their sewer system. But our rates are substantially less. And I hear just a retired couple, minimal water usage, their combined water and sewer bills now are approaching $150 a month. So by doing the right thing for a long period of time does impact rates. So, maintaining the system and planning, and that's a significant accomplishment for Johnson County. And I know you're looking at big numbers, unfortunately, on Nelson, but anyway, congratulations for what has been done and what will be done in the future.
Mr. Ashcraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Allen, thank you for your comment, because I was going to ask, I'll ask Patrick and Aaron, so Susan doesn't have to squeak at us. Sorry today, we just scheduled the wrong time, but I would be interested in, by next May, if not before, to see the long-term rate escalation schedule, and I know there will be ranges and certain assumptions built in, but that is one thing that continuously comes up. Not a lot, because I think Mr. Allen's right. I think we are very competitive, but it does weigh on some people, and it's important to know. And maybe next week, hopefully by then you'll be better, we can have some further discussion on a couple of these issues. I'd be interested in learning more about the assumptions, some of the assumptions about the replacement, the Nelson replacement, and I'm supportive of it, but I'd just like to understand some of the assumptions that we're working on, and a better understanding of how we're defining the greatest benefit alternatives under the integrated planning. You kind of talked about that, but I'd like to learn more on that. And also, as it relates to your balanced scorecard effort, I haven't heard much about that in a while, and how you've updated that and how that's impacting your efforts going forwards. So I'll leave it at that. Thank
Ms.
you.
Fast, did you have a question?
I hope you got all those.
Oh, Susan has it all.
Yeah, I was just, and I've talked to Susan about this, it's maybe sometime next year, going to the city council and mission and just kind of going through some of these slides. I know it's a number of years down the road, but we just begin the input process with the city of Mission.
I'm fully aware of our process for determining what our wastewater bills are in looking at water usage from Water One. I don't know, I think we've talked about this before, but the questions I get in regard to wastewater billings is understanding how those bills are formed based upon usage from the water system. And if we haven't done an educational brochure or material that goes out with a bill, I think we need to do so, because people can have an effect on their wastewater bill by examining their water usage. And I remember the gentleman who called me and said, he lived in his house by himself, his bill was this and this and this. And I said, well, how much water do you use, or how do you use water? He said, well, it's me, but I have 3 sons who bring their laundry over every week. And I said, okay, I think that's the answer right there. So reemphasizing how those bills are, what one could do to minimize water usage is, I think, helpful.
Good idea.
Yeah. A follow-on to that, and maybe we can discuss this in the future, but a few years ago, I was going through my notes and noticed back in May 12th of 2011, we got a letter from Heartland Apartment Association, and they were asking about ways to monitor the flow, and I think they were wondering about installation of special metering, because I think they were arguing that they're watering their lawn and their swimming pool and all that stuff. I don't remember the details, but I would be interested in approaches that we might take to kind of complement what the chairman is saying, how we could encourage and empower our customers to have less effluent, if there are any mechanisms, if that makes sense.
It's based on winter usage, first of all, so
Yeah.
watering and pools.
Yeah, but is there another way of doing it, though?
You could install a meter to check the outflow
But
on
can
every
you?
structure.
Can you?
Well, it'd be very, very expensive. Yeah. I thought we addressed the Heartland apartment issue those
did.
years ago.
We did.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Other questions? All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep up the
you,
good
guys.
work.
And don't say
And,
anything for the rest of the day.
Yeah, we are adjourned.
Excused.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.